Hello everyone! Welcome back to what some people call the best show on the internet? Let's binge Loren the Amazon Princess. As we left off, we were last leading the Citadel, the home of the Amazons, on the way to Grimoire, the city of men. As they approached Grimoire, the path cut through a wooded area. Loren stopped abruptly and held her arm out to stop Saren. Her expression was serious, and her voice low. Something isn't right here. They looked around, examining the area for anything out of the ordinary, and then they saw it. Someone was strung up by their feet from a tree limb, head down with a bag covering their body. The bag writhed. They were still alive! Help me! I don't know what they are yet, so I have to just guess a voice for now. Loren and Saren rushed towards the person, but several little screeching creatures sprang down from the tree. Goblins! Fear shot through Saren as he realized that a battle was now upon them, and that Princess Loren had never fought outside of training. It was up to him to protect the princess. Watch yourself! Same to you! Loren drew her two swords swiftly and hurried to engage the enemies. You do not have to give me any instruction. Saren was surprised to see how swiftly Loren moved as she fought. She started with a vertical slash that moved so quickly that her blade looked like a solid arc of silver. The golem collapsed to the ground in a bloody mess as she lifted her other sword in a horizontal slash beneath another goblin. She danced between the enemies and evaded their attempts and counterattacked with ease. Saren looked surprised to see how beautifully deadly all her movements were. Loren impaled another goblin through the heart in one quick stab, retracting her blade and flicking the blood off the metal with casual ease. She didn't have to stop to catch her breath, nor did she break a sweat in the short battle. Ooh my! Well, it looks now we're giving our first taste of this game's battle. I'm not sure how much of this everyone is going to see, as I'm not the best at having things to say the entire time. But you know what? It's a ride. Pre-off host fight. Tutorials. Alright. Maybe I should have looked at the tutorial. Attack! Attack! Ow. Ow. I got this. I got this, man.
Either I'm really good or they really weren't.
Oh my. These cheeky bastards gave them voice during battle. Oh my goodness. Well, I feel very obsolete now.
You're too easy.
Shut up, guy. Look at the great strategy being involved in this fight. See, we will attack the goblin, and then attack him again, until he is dead. But
Why are there imbeciles everywhere I go?
shut up! Saren hurried to keep up with her, but the fight was over quickly. Loren kept her swords in her hand as she approached the stranger and cut the restraining rope. Saren grimaced, but found some amusement at Loren's obvious lack of concern for the person. The person tumbled down from the tree and groaned, then squirmed out of the bag, covering him. A lithe, blonde man stood up and brushed the dirt from himself. I now remember this guy, he's actually one of the best ones. Hell, the ground hurts quite a bit, actually. He's British, to your surprise. Who are you? Even though the man's ears were tucked neatly behind his hair, Saren noticed them sticking out from his disturbed locks. They were pointed. His ears. Are you an elf? Oh, you can tell. He cleared his throat and smiled. Elf on my mother's side, yes. He bowed deeply and with an unnecessary flourish. Lady and gentlemen, I am Draco Firestarter, and yes, I do start fires. You start fires? Enough of your nonsense. Loren waved her weapons as if she were as much of a threat as the goblins. Was it simply because he was a man, or had her isolation at the Citadel turned her paranoid? Now, don't get upset. I'm just playing around. Identify yourself. Now. Your Highness, he just said... I'm surprised you haven't heard of me. I'm the all-powerful, famous fire magician. He suddenly waved his fingers in front of him and created a brief fireball. He made a sound effect to accompany it and laughed. But his laughter was cut short when Loren kicked him straight in the chest and hurled him back towards the ground. Ah! It was just a demonstration. I mean no harm, honestly. Your Grace, I believe he won't hurt us. Loren slowly pulled her sword away from Draco's throat into its straight. You're right, because he is too incompetent to do any damage. Incompetent? That's not fair. I'm actually really good with magic, all kinds. But fire is my favorite. My last name is Firestarter, after all. Oh, then how did you get captured so easily by a small group of little goblins if you're so powerful? It was a different group. A bigger group. Goblins as tall as trees. Yes, trees! Saren sighed, knowing that there were no such things. That's a convenient excuse. It was. They were accompanied by a very powerful goblin shaman. I couldn't hold out against them all on my own. And the shaman was as big as... Enough of your excuses. You're wasting the princess's time. A princess? I had no idea I was in such great company. Draco took some uncomfortable steps towards Loren, so Saren had to block him, pushing him back. All right, I understand. The princess is off limits. The half's eyes locked with his for a brief moment. He smirked, taking Saren off guard. You let your guard down, no matter how tall the goblin. That's unacceptable. I'm more useful than you think, lady. Perhaps you would be interested in my services. I wouldn't charge much. No, we are not interested. Draco looked disappointed at her blunt response. Not even if I throw in a specially beautiful lady discount? Loren ignored him and walked away. It's your loss then. Bye, I suppose. They walked away from the disappointed magician. Saren spoke quietly to Loren once they were out of earshot. I'm sure that won't be the last time we see that man. Unfortunately. And we proceed on to Grimoire. I'm so mature. Ooh, level up. They arrived in Grimoire. Saren was able to get them past the gate without any trouble. Just a warning to keep all weapons away. The open market in the town square was bustling with activity. So, this is all the human empire can show for their capital. It smells just as charming too. The sooner we find my mother, the sooner we may wash this stench from us. Come, we need to find what these settlers know. Loren wants to search all over Grimoire for clues, and Saren will have a chance to react at each location. This is a time to build your character's personality. Every time you select a choice between joking, friendly, or forceful answers, you influence Saren's attitude. To end your search, go to the tavern. Okay. I think we shall round out this episode with a trip before we go to the tavern. Little fast cut, so to speak. Her journey. They walked through the stalls of the market. Loren flinched and recoiled at everything that was hurrying past her. Her patience disappeared. She stomped her foot and shouted at the top of her lungs, Enough! I am Loren of the Amazons, and I am on a search for my mother. The whole of the marketplace turned to gawk at her, and then they continued with what they were doing, completely uninterested. Loren was stunned, having never been ignored in her life. Saren was worried that she would take it personally and become angry, so he swooped to disrupt their thoughts. Let us speak to one of the vendors personally. Maybe they have seen our queen. Loren was a beautiful man. Loren's lips pressed tightly together as she reluctantly walked up to a fruit stall. I am Princess Loren, my mother the queen of the Amazons. Fresh apples! Apples! Good fruit for you! The salesman picked up a bright red fruit and that neither of them had seen before and shoved it into Loren's hands. Her eyes went large from being handled like a commoner. 1 apple or 2 apples? Loren, however, was too offended to respond. 2 apples! 2 apples for the big woman!
2 apples, 6 gold.
it's worth. I don't think you're a big woman. Loren glared at him, as if she was even more insulted. Or I do? Very big woman. The biggest. Strong woman. Preza will pay for attaching you to me. Loren dropped the apple without a care for it. We're leaving. Yes, ma'am. Says will not subject herself to the horror of the marketplace again. They opted to ask officials rather than the public. When they walked up to the guard post, the soldiers' chatter was quickly silenced. Lorenz merely stood, her legs spread and her arms crossed, and not a man was taller than her. No one spoke for a very long moment. This must be the sound of pure astonishment and wonder. You're welcome, boys. Who are you? And why are you here? I am Princess Loren of the Amazons. My mother is Queen of the Amazon. You? You're the princess? My mother has gone missing, and she is believed to have traveled through your lands. The Amazons really exist? I thought my parents made them up to scare me. Have you seen my mother? Tell me where she is. So there really is a group of women in the mountains that enslave men. Is this man your slave? All of the guards went deadly serious. Their looks turning heated. I am not ashamed of my culture. So it's true! The guards broke out in insults, demanding they get out of their sight and that they were not welcome in Grimoire. Saren pleaded with Loren not to kill them, so they would not earn the ire of the Empire, or else they would never find a mother. The search was not going well. Well, I think I am just about out of time, because I like to keep it at a neat 10 minutes. So, I think we shall end this journeying to the tavern. I shall see